off Rome anyway.
It's time for a new game. We're going to squeeze it in. And it worked really well last week. Keith, and you're doing it. You've got the sheet. And it's you do it each for our guests tonight. And the game is called This or That.
This or that.
We've got some music for it.
Not yet, working on it.
Shocking. Right, Kelvin Fletcher. Kelvin Warren Fletcher.
Yep.
I had. Middle name. Quick fire questions. You've got to pick your favourite. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
Pigs or sheep?
Sheep.
Countryside or city?
Countryside.
Gym or racetrack?
Gym. Oh, racetrack. What are we on about? Racetrack. Got me out there.
Yorkshire or Lancashire?
Lancashire.
Bacon or sausage?
Bacon.
Adam Thomas or Ryan Thomas?
Adam Thomas.
Scraps or bits?
Scraps.
Paul Sculthorpe or Kelvin Skerritt?
Paul Sculthorpe.
Roxanne Parrott or Sammy Wynyard?
Well, it's Sammy Winwood.
Wynyard.
Sammy Winwood.
I've got Wynyard here. There you go. Gaz Carvell, we're moving on to you. You ready?
Not really, but go on.
Ooh.
They're not that difficult.
Yes. I don't know.
Gaz or Garreth?
Gaz.
X Factor or The Voice?
The Voice.
Wembley or Old Trafford?
Wembley.
England or Wales?
England.
Ant or Deck?
Yes.
Bread cake or barm cake?
Bread cake.
I'd say tea cake, mate. Gareth
I'd say
Ellis or
muffin.
Adrian Morley?
Moz.
Sunday dinner or pie and mash?
Sunday dinner.
Hull FC or Wallington?
Hull FC.
Hey.
There we go with a quick fire round.
Did I win?
Quick fire.
You did, yes. There's only one winner, and that's Rugby League.
Rugby. We're going to get on to Knowing Me, Knowing You. Tanya, have you got some music for us?
Of course.
Ahoy. Keith loves this bit. Basically, what we're doing, Kaz, we're going to ask you a little bit about your career, but the iPad isn't here, so I'm going to make it up off the top of my head. We're mainly going to do teammates. Aha!
Wow.
Aha! Comedy genius. Aha! Timing.
I'm going to get some better tips tomorrow for the pads.
Just for the listeners out there, Simo's put some spongy things on the roof because it helps with the sound.
The sound, yeah.
So every now and again they keep falling off and hitting us on the head.
Yeah.
So when we break into
Yeah,
laughter, that is why.
When you see it on the video, it's going to be not very funny, but you had to be here, really. Gaz Carvell, talk a little bit about your career. You've had a long, distinguished career, still going strong. You've got a few years left in the old tank yet.
Oh, yeah. The amount of games I've played this season, I think I'll be playing for another 10. Yeah. 17 seasons, I think it is now. So.
You'll be ready to go to another club soon, won't you?
Yeah. I've been a couple of months, so yeah. It's time to move on.
Where's been your happy place in your career so far? Where have you enjoyed the most?
All different. I mean, I started at Leeds when I was 16. The apprenticeship we went through, likes of Danny Ward and Andy Speak and Dave Rents, these guys that unfortunately didn't go as far as they wanted to in rugby, but the crack we had there was brilliant. So I enjoyed it there. And then Warrington's been really good. Enjoyed it under Tony and everything, and obviously Hull as well. So I've honestly enjoyed everywhere I've been. Love playing rugby, so it's like you get paid for. A bit like you. Get paid. That's what you do anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I can kind of relate to that. I suppose we could all relate to that a little bit.
Let's all relate.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Let's
all reflect. Sit back and reflect. Yeah. Polish our own knob, yeah. What's your greatest ever moment in rugby in your career?
I don't know. Probably representing Great Britain. I think first time we pull that shirt on, it's something you watch as a kid. Never even dreamed that you could actually do it, and to go ahead and pull that shirt on, and it's something special. That remember it like it was yesterday. It's one of those moments that I'll never forget.
What's been the worst moment in your career?
I think this is it right now.
Cheers for that question. Great answer.
I think I've not had one. That's a pregnant fish.
I'll do this,
No, I swear. No, I think I've not really got one specific one. I think generally injuries, you know, they get you down. They're hard to get through. It's difficult sort of plugging through all the rehab and doing all that sort of thing and not playing. To the end of the day, that's all you want to do. I'd rather play than train. You know, play every day a week rather than have to train. So it's I'd not say one particular thing. Really, just general injuries.
Who's your best mate in rugby league?
Moz, it has to be Moz really. He sort of brought me through as a 16-year-old at Leeds, took me under his wing and introduced me to a few things that that probably wouldn't have done otherwise. But yeah, so we've stayed in touch all while we were in Oz, and we're really good mates now. He's
Do you reckon you'd run over him?
Eh?
Run at him?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, he's gone in game. He's too old.
Exclusive from Gascon.
Yeah, he's gone.
Well, gone
That's
in the
gone.
game.
He's
Headline next week.
That's gone. But yeah, I mean, it's great. You get to meet loads of lads that are absolutely spot on and that. But it's one of those things that you got 30 ready-made friends there. As soon as you get in there, banter and everything like that. I've been lucky enough never to have to work. So it's one of those mates for life. We get a lot of them.
What will you do after rugby? Any ideas?
I want to go into coaching. To be honest, that's like I say, I've not really done anything else. I want to go into the conditioning side of things, but tried it, didn't really like it. So I'm just gonna stick with rugby, stick with what I know, and hopefully go into coaching and see how I fare at that.
See, that's a problem, innit? You've got to practice what you preach, and you coming giving it being a conditioner is not a great example, is it?
You're kidding. No, but you're right. That's why I took it off the list.
What you've done? Obviously, Isaac's deaf. You mentioned it earlier on. You did some work with the National Deaf Society. How's that been for you? Obviously, learning a new language and sign language. What has it opened your eyes to?
I've never considered anyone with deafness before. It's a strange thing. There's not much awareness out there really, and it affects Isaac's life so much that from communication, like toilet training, things like that. He can't tell you when he's hungry. All these sort of things. It's difficult, but you get a lot of support from National Deaf Children's Society, and meet parents in the same situation, and we're me and Vicky are going to set up his own charity shortly. I'm going to try that anyway. But yeah, it just opens your eyes. We obviously it was hard when we found out it was deaf, and but the community within the deaf community is something special. They all really stick together, and went to it's falling again. Went to a dinner. I've been to plenty of dinners, through rugby and things like that. I went to a deaf dinner. Really strange, because me and Vicky were the only ones talking, and everyone's quiet when they clap. They don't clap. They shake their hands in the air, and and the more drunk they got, they're just like children and like grunting, and listen, it was just really strange. But it opens your eyes up to a different way of life, and the nice people that stick together. It's just it's just one of those things that I never thought I'd have to deal with, and but now that we have, we wouldn't change him for the world. We just worry about his future and everything. But these charities are really helpful. We want to set one up so that we can get sort of funding for hearing devices in schools and teacher support and things like that, because there's not much out there. So it's close to my heart, and something that being public will take up a lot of the time soon.
Fantastic. Can you sign "Welcome to Rugby AM" for us?
No.
You're not sign?
No. Well, Isaac's had cochlear implants. He had them when he was 1.
What are they?
They're just processors. Basically, they screw sort of a processor into his skull. It goes into his cochlea. Allows him to have some sort of hearing. He's not doing too well with them, but it's all centred around speech, so that deaf children can actually talk with these processors. They can hear things. Obviously, when they take them off, they can't hear a thing. But he's got those. He's struggling a little bit, but the hope is that he'll be able to communicate properly, talk, The reason we didn't let him sign is we got advised that from the Cochlear Centre. Obviously, if he signs, he's not going to use his new hearing, so it's
Must be really tough.
It is because he's struggling with them. He's struggling to communicate. Like I say, he can't tell you when he's hungry. He needs to go to the toilet. He doesn't understand a lot of things, and when you're out and about, he looks like a naughty little boy. Because he'll run out of the coffee shop and you're shouting him back, and he doesn't react to you. And then you'll tell him not to do it again, and he'll go running off again. You see all the parents looking at you, just want to say he's deaf. Leave him alone. I'm not a bad parent. I might be actually. You never know. But yeah, it's it's one of those things. We're just trying to move on with it, and everything's a test in it, and I think we'll come out of this.
You'll be sweet.
Always.
You'll be sweet, lad. I'm going to talk a bit about teammates. You've had plenty of teammates. You can actually nominate anyone from any previous clubs. And we're just going to talk about. I'm going to ask you a few questions. Basically, you've got to tell us which person you played with represents that person. So, who is the ugliest teammate you played with?
Benny Westwood.
Who's the pretty boy of all the clubs you played for?
The pretty boy. Actually, there's a few at Hull now. Ryan Shaw. He's a bit of a
sort.
Jamie Foster. Jamie Foster at Bradford. Oh my god.
He rate himself.
Oh, he mess his hair up and he'd flip. Honest to God, he's but yeah, definitely Jamie Foster, without a doubt.
Who's the most skillful player you played with?
Well, Ryan Chase, he's some of the stuff he does is unreal. You never know what he's going to do even on the same side as him, so playing against him is even worse.
Who's the quickest player you ever seen?
He's seen you when you ask him to get you a pint. Running away.
Who's the slowest?
He's seen you when you ask him to get you a pint.
Out of everyone you played
It's
with,
quite sharp for you, is that, Gaz?
who's got the dog's body? The worst body you've seen?
Lee Breers. Oh my goodness. How that guy's played rugby league for so long, I do not know.
He's up there as one of the weakest as well. And he did used to bench about 40 kg or something.
If that, yeah. Oh yeah, and he can throw a windmill.
Who's the best trainer you've ever trained with? Hardest trainer.
Mickey Iam's up there. He really trains hard. Yeah, he's got his own fitness place and everything, so he takes it really seriously. And he's apart from me, discounting myself.
Yeah.
Definitely Mickey. Yeah.
Who's the worst trainer?
Benny Westwood again. Honest to God, he just doesn't do anything. Even in the training, on the pitch and everything like that, he just doesn't. I don't know how he manages to play so long and so well. Absolutely awesome.
Who's the well? You probably answered this already. Who's the least likely to buy a pint?
This bloke here. No, Chris Hill. Chris Hill was really. Him and Mickey used to have fights over up by the Costa. I bought you one last week and all this sort of. So it was like an absolute joke, but definitely. I think he'd come out with 20 quid and go home with 22.
Who's out of all the lads you played with? He's the least most likely to dump the lads for a night out with the bird. Choose the bird over the lads.
Well, times have changed now. That's normal.
No.
JP's bad for that. Actually, he's done a few back doors on me and gone on with it.
It's a family show.
Dirty minds. Seriously, he has.
Who's been the biggest prankster of your career? And what's the best prank you've seen in rugby league?
There's been so many. I can remember the most recent. Simon Griggs is like if you do something to someone, normally you do a little bit more to them, but he'd go from 0 to 200. And the latest one he did a poo in Chris Ryder's gum shield. Yeah.
That's a classic.
That was 0. It was 200.
Yeah, that was nothing.
That's your team. It's going to wrap up tonight. We've got a few fans' questions tonight. So he goes out to Kelvin. It's from Samantha Harrison. Would Kelvin have liked to play professional rugby league or any other sport?
Yeah, I'd like to. Probably, obviously not good enough. No, I was a kid. Yeah, I didn't really aspire to be a rugby league player because I was acting at the time, and I always aspired to be an actor. But it's certainly my favourite sport. That and obviously motor racing. But yeah, if I could probably do any sport, it'd be first of all it'd be to be a MotoGP rider, like Sir Valentino Rossi, and then after that, yeah, rugby league would be it'd be great. The likes of Keith and Gazé with their careers and you know what they do. It's great to watch as a fan, and obviously you've got to have a natural talent to do that.
Ellie Smith says, how did you get involved with acting?
I started when I was about 6 years old. I just went to a local theatre group in Oldham where I was, an amateur dramatics type thing, where at the time I was playing a bit of sport, cricket, rugby, football, and doing a bit of acting as well. So I'd go there, pay my subs like you do with any kind of team game. Twice a week, pay my subs and do pantomimes and various things. And then it went from there, and I started off in the chorus in the pantomime, and then I got a speaking part, and like Keith Mason, a speaking part. Everything comes from there. And before you know it,
You've been to LA?
has it been LA?
How are we going to do a tweet?
Oh, you've got to let him send it. You've got to let him send it. Kelvin, you've got to let him send it. You've got to let him send it.
But no, so yeah, I mean, there's no set path of getting into acting. You don't have to go to like posh drama schools or anything like that. I just kind of went through the amateur route and stuck at it.
Charlie Smith says, do you think you have matured as an actor in your long career?
Yeah, certainly I matured as an actor. My performances, not necessarily, you get better performances. It's just more you can rein in your technical size things as an actor when I was doing, because I'm working at such a fast pace with the soap opera. When you've got to do a tough scene when you're young, you could probably nail it in one scene, and then they say, right, we need to go again, and you probably wasn't able to replicate it and go again. So as you get older, you get more experience, and you can learn how to save your performance and know that when the camera's on you, you can do it for that shot and not have to give it everything for the time when it's not on you.
Can you cry on cue?
Probably not on cue, but yeah, if we did a scene within 20-30 minutes, I'd like to think I could deliver the goods on the take. Well, you're going to see if I can cry now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Back in the day, as a young lad, they always had me crying. My character was always crying, but I'm in touch with my emotions. So yeah, if a part needs, because everyone does, there's times when it's upsetting in real life, and you do shed a tear.
When that sheet gets run over.
When that sheet runs over, yeah, gets run over.
So this is question to you both from Becky Murphy. What is the hardest part of being famous? To both guests.
Tyre's going to be in Bushways. I think that's Carvell next.
Is Gaz stalkable, Tyre? Is he on your list?
Yeah, just didn't see bushes outside. Outside his house.
Gas.
I'm not going to Morley though, it's a bit rough up there.
It is, yeah. Yeah, when you go to a pub, you get a bin lid and a snooker cue off bouncer. There you go, lads. Off you go. Get in there.
Kelvin, being famous, how has fame changed your life?
It's I don't know. I don't really see myself as famous. I know it's a bit of a. I've done it since I was 7 or 8 years old, and the same best mates I had back then are still mates now.
Just always been famous, haven't you?
Just always been famous. No, I didn't mean it like that.
Well, the child prodigy.
It's just people recognise you and that, and it's nice. The only unfortunate thing is, I think typical of British people is a stigma you get, So most comments I get are unfortunately always negative, and there's a stigma about the lad off telly that is going to be up himself, or So I think instantly when people meet you, they often say, "God, actually, you're an all right guy, aren't you?" Because they were thinking I was going to be. I don't know what I was going to be, but there's a certain stigma. But if I've met some great famous people, and I've met some famous people who were not so nice. Just like I've met Joe Bloggs in the street, who's really nice, and Joe Bloggs in the street who's not so nice. So,
who was the biggest disappointment you met?
The biggest disappointment. Sam. Yeah.
Sammy Boyle.
I can't think off the top of my head. I met Joey Essex last week, and I'm not really not a fan of him, but my little brother's obsessed with him. So I was cringing, thinking, I'm gonna have to do it for him. I know how obsessed he is with him. So I went over and said, "Hi Joey, can I can I get your picture, please? And he kind of just, he had the picture, but he kind of just brushed me off a little bit, and I was a little bit.
You know who you are.
You should have said, "I'm
Well, I'm
talented,
not
mate. I am talented."
No, it wasn't. But I mean, he might have been. When someone's come over to me and said, "Oh, can I have a picture?" and you might have just had a phone call from someone that you're not a good news, or there's always an excuse.
He was on Celebrity Juice and he didn't even know any of the Beatles. So
Yeah.
don't worry about it, mate.
Yeah, don't worry about him. Yeah.
I went out with Chris Fountain having a few drinks at Oracle one night, and the kid from Scotty from Geordie Shore. Do you know?
All right. I've
he
never met him.
He come running up to, like, he had all these birds around him. He came running up to Chris and went, "Hey, can I have a picture, mate?" And Chris went, "Oh, why?" He went, "We're both famous." And Chris just went, "Who are you?" he just melted. Scott, melted. It was quality. Give me. I enjoyed that. Only because he pulled all the fit birds, and I didn't even get any scraps at that. So, I was a bit disappointed.
Bits or scraps.
What do you most hope to achieve in your career, in your acting career, Kel?
I most hope to achieve. I'd love to do a film one day. It's a bit of a cheesy dream.
Kes.
Yeah, Kes. I'd love to do Kes. No, just to be, however cheesy it sounds, to be sat in the cinema with my family, watching the big screen and see me on it. I suppose it's like when you look at a Challenge Cup final and you think one day I could.
How
play.
vain are you wanting to go to the pictures to watch yourself? Gets worse, doesn't it?
You need to learn Matt Lewis.
Yeah.
Can't Matt Lewis help you out? Are you and Matt Lewis tight because you're like rugby fans and you're both good lads?
I don't really know, man. Obviously, his brother was an Emido for a while, Anthony, so I know his brother quite well.
He's sound, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great lad. Yeah, both very talented, and acting's quite hard. It's there's a lot of luck down to acting. I think if you're a really good rugby player, then you're pretty much going to get a team. It's rare that you go undiscovered. Although there's a lot of players probably, stealing a living, just like there's a lot of actors stealing a living, and there's some great actors who are out of work. So it's just one of those professions, and I've been lucky enough to have a job for so long. But come next year, I might not have a job, and I might be struggling to get other work, or I might be hopefully going doing another big drama and maybe even a film. So that's where I want to be, and I think I'm capable. So it's just hope that someone else thinks that as well.
Have you ever been starstruck?
Yeah, I guess I get starstruck when I kind of meet people I admire. Actors, not so much really.
Who have you been most starstruck with?
Oh, most starstruck. Don't know. I met Colin McRae once, and I was pretty starstruck with him. But Greg Bird is probably up there, yeah.
I remember once when you asked me for my tie.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that the Leeds do. It was at. I remember that. I've still got that Great Britain tie. Yeah.
It was a Great Britain tie.
Oh, right.
It was a Great Britain tie. Yeah. Because you forget as a kid, I grew up watching. Every time I wasn't working, I'm watching rugby league, and to see the likes of Keith Senior and people like this who I've been a fan of. So then
be quoting this in Twitter later on.
But yeah, I'm not embarrassed to say that. So when I meet these people of motorsport and of rugby league, then yeah, I'm always the one to say, can I have a picture? I'm not bothered about that. But I do get the tagline of Rugby Roy. Everyone does take the mick out of me, but I don't mind.
He's a quiet lad in person, but on Twitter he's the king of the abuse, isn't he? I don't know if you follow his Twitter, but
quiet lad in person.
He is quite the most controversial type of Twitter going out there, so we can have a little bit of a Twitter war if you want.
Yeah, you can do, yeah. Twitter's a little bit self-indulgent anyway, so I always do it in jest, whatever I do say. It's the best way. It's for a laugh, yeah. As you'll find out later.
We've got 3 more questions to fire through. Can you ask the boys about sledging in the game? What's the best one they've ever heard or handed out? I think that's going to Carvell and Keith Paul. Oh dear, that's up with mine. That's as bad as mine.
And on that note, I don't know really. I've never really got some of you. Everyone reckons you're on steroids and stuff. I mean that's the
You just take your top off and prove them wrong, don't you?
Look at this, Homer Simpson here. Look.
Phil Forsyth, Garreth fans says, if you could, and actually sensible question from Garreth fans, believe it or not, if you could end your career with any club, who would you choose?
He's not got many left to choose now, has he?
You have most of them.
Oldham Roughheads.
Stanley.
No, it'd have to be OFC. To to be honest, that's where my career.
That's
really-
begging for another contract.
No, in all
Extra
seriousness,
year, please.
that's where it started. You know, I sort of got established playing for Hull. We were there 7 years, and you know, so it's nice to go back there and play. And it was a sensible question, you see, so I'm giving a sensible answer.
Okay, sorry.
It's nice to be back there now and hopefully finish my career off.
Would you go back and play for Stanley?
Yeah, definitely. You know, me and Benny Westwood have spoke about this. He wants to go play for Normie Knights. So when he retires, he's going to go have a season at Normie Knights. He said he's going to do this. I say if he does it, I want to go have a season at Stanley. So we'll see.
When it in with me. Tudor, if you ever had to leave Emmerdale and move to another soap opera, which soap would you pick?
To another soap opera. I don't know. I think once you've done one, you've done them all.
Yeah.
But as a family, we always used to watch Corrie. That was our thing, to watch Corrie. My favourite soap person was Brookside. I thought that was the best. Best actors, best storylines. But no, I think I'm happy at Emmerdale. So if I could do any soap, it'd have to be Emmerdale. I wouldn't want to do any other soap.
And last but not least from Tyre, where do you live? Zach. Right, well,
No, that is a serious question.
I'd like to say thank you to everyone tonight for tuning in, listening. A couple of problems again with the app and stuff. We're going to get to the bottom of it, but just keep the faith. Keith, thank you very much. Great to have you back.
Loved it. It's been a good show tonight.
It's been a good show tonight. Kelvin, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Carvs, you've been fantastic, banter.
Pleasure.
To all the people on Rugby AM, if you've had any problems, I'm going to put the show tomorrow morning and to afternoon for listening again purposes. Check out the website www.rugbyam.co.uk. We'll be announcing the Twitter competition winner later on. All right. Ladies, love you a long time.